Trump has now reversed course on his excuses and his cover story in regard to the leaked audio that features him incriminating himself while showing classified documents pertaining to foreign policy in regard to Iran during a meeting back in 2021. Now, previously, he's like, I didn't have any classified documents. I was showing them newspaper articles, even though in the recording you can hear him say, this is top secret, this is classified. I could have declassified it as president, can't declassify it now. Well, now he says something completely different. According to a Mediaite headline, Trump reverses course, now claims he wasn't actually showing Iran battle plans on infamous recording. It was just bravado.
Yeah, see, I knew it. I said it earlier in today's show. I said they're going to Trump's well-known liar defense. Hannity did it, Newsmax anchor did it. Now Trump himself is doing it. I waved the documents around. I say there were documents to invade Iran, but remember, I'm a well-known liar.
Yeah.
So I was just lying to them. They weren't actually those documents. It was bravado.
So some more details. Now Trump is trying a new strategy by claiming that he was lying.
Told you.
On the recording. And here's what he said, quote, I would say it was bravado. If you want to know the truth, it was bravado, Trump told Semaphore and ABC News on board his plane on Tuesday. He also said, I was talking and just holding up papers and talking about them, but I had no documents. I didn't have any documents. Listen, this issue can be investigated very easily. He had 2 of his staffers there, and he also had the individual writing his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows' memoir there. So investigators, prosecutors should question them and ask exactly what they saw and what the document looked like.
Besides which, I'm not entertaining it. He never said that they weren't the actual documents before. He's only saying it because he's now caught in a corner. A hashtag Cenk was right, literally said it earlier in the show. And in fact, I read a comment from one of the members just a second ago during the break. And look, guys, they get, as Trump is more and more clearly guilty, they go to like more and more absurd defenses, but they're going to absurd defenses because they're believable. Why are they believable? Because everybody knows Trump's a liar. So that's why Hannity was like, well, you don't know that he wasn't lying back then. But by the way, if that's true, Hannity and Trump, how do we know you're not lying now?
But you know what? On the other hand, have you considered that people who change their stories within one day tend to be telling the truth? Have you considered that?
Not in my experience, but hey, if in your experience that's the case, go for it. And I mentioned the member comment because they were like, insanity defense?
Maybe.
At the very end, maybe. If he's really cornered, that will be the last thing that they try. Hear me now, quote me later. They even teased it a couple of times during the impeachment, but then they realized, oh my God, these Democrats are so weak, they're not even gonna come close to actually getting us kicked out of office. Roger Stone hinted at it. So, and again, the reason you'd go to that is because it's a little believable.
I mean,
because he is a little nuts, right?
Trump stated he was simply holding up random papers. Quote, I just held up a whole pile of, my desk is loaded up with papers. I have papers from 25 different things, he said. A reporter asked the former president if he regretted how he handled classified documents upon leaving the White House. He responded by saying, no, I have no regrets. I didn't have a classified document. There was no classified document on my desk.
Okay, but listen guys, when you try, that's fine. And it doesn't matter, they need to give MAGA the thinnest little read. Even the thinnest. If they tell MAGA, oh, come on, guys, you can't believe Trump. Trump's a dumbass liar. That's why he was lying to the people that came to his office. They're like, good enough, not guilty, not guilty. But in this case, MAGA is not the relevant thing.
Right.
The court is,
yes.
Right? And when you go into court and you say, well, I was lying back then, the jury goes, so you just admitted you're a liar. Okay, that's not gonna play well. It just isn't.
Okay, my favorite part. So apparently a reporter then asked if, since these recordings exist and it incriminates Donald Trump, is he considering a plea deal? And here's how he responded to that. Frankly, that you even ask a question like that, that's a disgrace. He called it's a disgrace. How dare you?
He'd take a plea deal so quick. Okay.
So let's end it. he finishes the sentence. Anyway.
So he's not gonna get a good plea deal, so that's why he's not considering it. But if he wasn't running for president and he'd done this, and he thought he was gonna go to prison and they gave him a plea deal not to go to prison, he'd be like, deal, 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 deal.
Yeah.
How do I know that? He's done that so many times throughout his life already. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.